I can't believe how many updates Canva have just launched. This year I was excited to actually go and attend Canva Creates down in London and also meet some of my fellow Canva verified experts. But let's dive into Canva and let me show you some of the amazing features that they launched at the event yesterday, but also there's some other features that they actually released but didn't mention during the presentation. So let's dive in and have a look. When you first come into Canva at the moment, you'll see on your homepage there's a lot of different elements that might be wrapped up here. If you've not unwrapped them so far, all you'll do is you'll click on the actual icon and that'll unwrap it for you, and then you can click on it and then click try it out. So let's have a look at the first one, which is Brand Hub. So from the home page, if you click Brand Hub, you'll be able to then come to the area which is known also as Brand Kit. Now this is a pro feature and I'm going to mention it quickly. There's a 45-day trial of Canva Pro down in the description below for you to try out all of the pro features that are available in Canva and that have been launched. Let's look at the Better Content Creators one here. We can add in multiple logos in here and we can upload our images, but we can also add in some guidelines. So if we wanted to only use certain logos on certain designs or add some kind of design guideline in there, we can do. We can also now add in multiple brand colors if we wanted to, and just come to add new. You can add a palette and you can also add guidelines to these different palettes as well. It gives a visual reminder of what we're using the different palettes for. Now let's say we wanted to copy these brand colours across to a different brand kit. You can do that. You click on the three dots here and you can copy these colours across to a different brand kit. So you can copy them over to any of these new ones, any of these here that are already existing, but you do have to set it up first. So if I wanted to send it over to my demo brand, I can copy it over to that and it's going to send those over to my demo brand. So if I come back to brand kits, go to demo brand, you'll see that that's copied that over to that area there. Another update is that you can actually now change the name of your colours if you wanted to. So I could call this teal or mint green. You can also come in and you can also edit the name of it. So I can call this one backup. And scrolling down here, we can now add in more guidance for the fonts as well. So we can add in here, we can add in some guidelines for the fonts. So stick to these guidelines or you're fired. I've put that in there. And you can add in more kind of like description in there. You can add up to, you've got up to 500 words to add in your brand guidelines in there. But you can also now add in multiple different types of fonts and text styles in there as well. So if I come over here, you can add in a new text style and you can see some of these are grayed out because I've already added these. But if I wanted to add in one for caption, you can see I can come down here and I can say, right, for captions, I want to use this particular type of font. It's for this style of, this is where I want to use it. And I want it to be 16 and you can't choose bold on this particular font, but I can choose italicized. And then I just click OK. And that's just added that on there. And you can add in and upload your own fonts, obviously, but you can also name them. So say I wanted to use this one for H1 and H2 style fonts. And if you're not aware, that's like just a HTML type reference. And this one I wanted to use for H2 and H3. I didn't want this one. I didn't need another heading. So I've actually deleted that one. Delete font style. You can see I've not got anything in there. I could choose to add that in there if I wanted to. And if you've got regular photos that you're going to be using, so I can come in and I can upload photos and I can add in guidelines. And we can also come in and we can add graphics or icons. Now, one last thing that I do want to mention on here is say you were updating your logo. So this for me is a logo that I might have used on a design. I can come in, I can upload a new logo. I can click on the three dots here and I can say, replace this logo across the designs. And it'll go through my catalog or your catalog and look for where that logo has been used and update it with the new logo. The next option is translate. So you can translate from one language to another. So in this example here, I've got this written in English. So I can just come over, highlight it, click on the little magic assistant here, and I can choose to translate this over here. So I can choose to translate this from English into Spanish, just on page one if I wanted to. I'll click translate. It's going to take a few moments to do that. And I don't speak Spanish, but if you can read that, let me know how accurate that is if you speak Spanish. So Canva Translate is a pro feature, so make sure you check out that 45-day trial of Canva Pro down in the description below. Next, I want to talk about Magic Write. Now, this is a fantastic item that was added to Canva Docs last year, but it's now available across all documents. Let me show you. Okay, so we've got our text area here selected. We're going to come down to our Canva Assistant here, and we can either choose to edit using Magic Write, or we can rewrite, or we can choose to summarize or expand on the text. It's a really great option. So if I wanted a shorter version of this, I can summarize the text, and it's going to give me a really short response. Really good to see that added on there. And there's other options as well. We can rewrite it if we wanted to, so it's going to give me other ways that I could say the same thing. And if you're sat there staring at a blank page, you don't need to worry any longer. You can actually use Canva Write to actually generate some of the text for you based on some prompts. Let me show you. So I've just added a text box here. We're going to come down to the Canva Assistant again, and we're going to come down to Edit with Magic Write. And we're going to give it a prompt. So we want to add our paragraph text here, but we want to add something a little bit more in there. So let's say, tell me about things to do in Malta. And it's given me a really short paragraph on things that I could do in Malta, which I'm going to soon. Canva Write is now available in 23 different languages. Let me know down in the comments below if it's available in your language and what it's like using Canva Create for yourself in your language, whether that's English or any other language around the world. And again, the Canva Write options are a pro feature. So there's the 45-day trial down in the description below or over on my website. Now this next option is Canva Edit. I've not actually tried this, so I'm trying this with you for the first time. Let's see what it's like. Apparently what you need to do is brush over the option here. So we've got a little daisy in the description here, and we want to describe what we want to, so we can change the brush size, we can click continue. What do I want to generate in there? Roses, generate that. And there we go. It's given us a couple of different options that we can also click through here. Another option here is the Magic Eraser. Let's dive in and take a look. So let's click on the item, click Photo Edit or Edit Photo. We want to click on Magic Eraser. We can change the brush size, and we want to get rid of the shoe here. So we're just going to draw around the shoe with the purple and highlight that and see what it comes back with. It can take a few moments. So there we go. After a few moments, it's just magically erased the shoe from that image. And you can still see a little bit of an outline there on that, but that's good enough for posting on social media if that's what you wanted to do. We're only part way through this tutorial on all of the Canva updates that were released in Canva Create in March 2023. So if you're finding this useful, make sure you give that thumbs up. And if you want to follow more, I'm going to be doing more tutorials on these over the coming weeks. So make sure you click that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and make sure you don't miss one of the updates that I've got coming in the next few weeks. Next, let's take a look at Magic Presentations. So if you're using Canva for presentations, you're going to absolutely love this feature, I'm sure of it. Let's dive in and take a look. Okay, so we've opened up a blank presentation option here. We're going to click on our Canva Assistant here again, and we're going to come over to the Magic Design option, and it says draft a presentation with AI. So we're coming in, and it's going to ask us for 5 or more words to describe the presentation of the topic that we want to talk about. So I'm going to talk about retro sweets from sweets from when I was younger. Okay, so it's going to go away, come up with some ideas for me on that. And it's gone away. So it's gone away and it's found images and different styles and things like that that I could use in a presentation. And it's given me some ideas of how I can actually lay this out as well as a presentation. Really good. All we'd do is we'd click create my presentation, and then that's going to have our presentation available here, and we can come in and edit and replace the photos as we would do. Now let's say we've got our presentation here. We're thinking like, well, it's kind of there, but it's not quite what we want. We can come up to the design tab and we can now choose layouts, and that's going to give us some different layout options. And you can just scroll down here and find a different layout that is what you're going to want for the introduction here. So let's say I wanted to switch to this one, I can do. Let's say I was kind of annoyed about that one, didn't really want that one, I wanted to do this one. I can change the different layouts at the click of a button. And then all I need to do is just come in and edit the images, double click on them to move them around to make sure that they're fitting how I want them to. And if from that layout area there you're not quite seeing what you want on there, you can come back to the blank page and you've got all these other options for different layouts available to you just from underneath the tab here. So if you click on design, come over to layouts, and you've got all the different layouts that you can use for your presentation. Now the next update is Canva Draw. Let me show you, because there's some really cool techniques on this that you're going to absolutely love. So down from the left hand menu here, we're going to click on Draw. If you don't see it, it'll probably be under your apps area. We're going to click on Draw. It has this little tiny menu option that pops out here. We can click different items, different pens that we can choose from. We can choose the color from our color palettes. We can choose any of the default colors, or we can come over and choose a custom color. So let's say we wanted a bright, shocking pink, and we can then choose the weight of the font, change that here, and whether we want it to be solid or slightly transparent. If you choose a slightly transparent one, you'll see as you cross over and start going over the lines more and more, it actually starts building that up there. In Canva Draw, you can actually draw a line, say with an arrow. If you hold your mouse pointer down, it's actually then going to create an arrow for you. The same if you want to draw a square, hold it down for a few seconds and it's going to come back and give you a better option on a square, or also a circle. Now let's say you're in this and you want to start playing about with this, just click on the little arrow icon here, and that's going to allow us to then select these, so we can then come in and change the shape of these. We can come back and we can choose a different color if we wanted to. So let's say I wanted this to be blue instead. Can I change the transparency? I can't change the transparency of it once I've actually drawn the item. So it's probably best to draw it solid and then transparency it down, if that makes sense. The other thing you can do, if you can come up and you can change the color of it. So let's say I wanted to change the color of this. I can also change the inside color of it as well. So let's say I wanted a pink with a blue in there, I can do, and that's going to allow me to do that. I can then change it to no color again if I wanted to. And also you've got gradients, but we're going to come on to gradients a little bit more later on. So that's Canva Draw. I really like this feature now being available on any document. You can sort of draw around it, add annotations to any of your designs and share that with a team member if you wanted to. So it's Canva Draw. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this. If you're really enjoying these updates, don't forget to click that thumb button as well, and make sure that YouTube knows that you're enjoying this video. Next is Magic Design. Now, as a designer myself, I know what it's like when you open up a blank page. You can be sat there staring at a blank page thinking, where do I start? What do I put on here first? Do I put some graphics on there? Do I put some icons on there or anything else like that? Where do I start on a blank page? Magic Design is going to change your life. I'm sure of it. If you're that person that stares at a blank page for half an hour or more, Magic Design is going to change the way you design in Canva. So from the Canva homepage, click on Templates, and then you're going to see this option to try Magic Design. Click on Try Magic Design. This is now going to give you the option to try something new. Okay, we're going to come over here from Insert Media. We can choose our files or choose to drop an image onto here. I'm going to choose this one here of just me pointing on this item here. And we've got all sorts of different party icons and things, party templates and all sorts that we've got here. We can choose a different style. So if that's not something that we want it to be something new. So let's tell it that it's something new. It's come up with all sorts of other different template options. We can change the style again. So let's say we wanted this to be an event. See results. So it's got all sorts of different styles and things like that we could choose from, and this is just a starting point. So it helps us think of like other areas that we can actually start creating our templates from. The next new feature that I want to show you is creating an animation in Canva, or creating your own animation in Canva. I really like this feature. So we've got this demo item here. We've come up to click animate, and it's saying select an element and drag it around, and that's going to then create the path for it to follow. So we're going to grab our bee, make it land on a flower, hop, hop. Oop, it wants to fly up and then hop back. Okay, and there you go. It's going to follow that path, and we can make it smoother. We can make it more steady. And if we wanted to, we can ask it to orientate to the path. So it's going to flip the bee round as it's hopping over. Really cute way of adding your own animation to your designs. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you created a design. I'd love for you to tag me over on Instagram or anything else like that. If you tag at Better Content Creators, I'll love to see your design, and maybe I'll share them with my audience as well. Now, if you love social media and you're someone that likes fast-paced social media, you're going to really enjoy this next one. It's BeatSync. BeatSync is a Canva Pro features, 45-day trial of Canva Pro, down in the description below. Let's dive in and take a look at BeatSync. So this is the demo item that they've given us, and we can click on display the markers, and you'll see down in the timeline here, you'll see these little white markers of when it's recognizing that the beat is dropping, and we can click sync. So if you see it's got 232, 2.63, if I click this sync now option, you'll see it's going to change the length of those video clips, so it actually changes to the sync of the music. Now let's say I wanted to choose a particular different section of the music. I'm just going to choose this area here. You come over and you then re-click BeatSync, and it's going to then change it over again. And also you can come over and you can add in your own audio. So let's say I want to choose that. I can choose different audio, and you can see now this is actually got more beats on it. So if I come over to highlight the audio and check BeatSync, click untick, and then BeatSync here, you can get more detailed by clicking on the icon down here and zooming it in so you can see the actual beats. So let's say I wanted to do that one, split the page, and let's say on this one I wanted to change the size of it, so I can just zoom out a little bit and then make it zoomed in. So now when I come back and I click play at the beginning, and there you go. That's BeatSync in Canva. Really great new feature. You can choose this to maybe add in different images or anything else like that, and make sure it's beating or changing the image or the video to the sound of the music or the beat of the music. Next, we've got an update to text to images. We've now got different aspect ratios and different style prompts that we can actually use inside of Canva. Let's take a look. So this is just an example that I used in Canva, and it was boy lost in the forest, and it was in a dreamlike style. And these are some of the options that it gave me. You can see here it's kind of given me a strange foot, so that one wasn't quite there. This one looked a little bit better, but then when you zoomed in, the face looked a little bit strange. And then this one looked a little bit better again. I really like this. It's something fun to play about with, see what results you get. Let me know, tag me over on Instagram at Better Content Creators with your results. I'd love to see what you're creating with text to images and showing all the different styles. You've got all these different styles here now. So you've got like 3D art, retro wave, anime, stained glass, watercolor, all these different features and styles that you can now use in text to image. Next, we've got a styles tab update. So if we come over to a design, I've just chosen this one. And if we come over and we choose the styles tab up here, and you can see now I've got different recently used ones, and we've got different photos. So we can click on shuffle, and it's going to have those options, and you can just keep clicking shuffle, whether it's that or whether it's something else, different style brand that you're looking for. So we can choose that one. We can choose different style combinations. That's just on recently used. We've got different fonts. So if you've got the colors that you like there, but you think actually the fonts are a little bit something different, let's click on this one. So I can click on that one. So that's going to give us different font styles inside of Canva and allow us to apply those to our designs. And I'm really liking the style updates that we've got here and how we can apply these. And we can apply these to all the pages. So once we've got one page correct, we can click apply to all pages. You're going to love this one. And that is the Magic Assistant. You'll see it down in the bottom here. I clicked on it earlier. Canva Assistant. We're going to come up with different video effects. We can choose that. So we could choose to remove the background, different filter options. We've also got different adjust options here. We can come down and it's going to suggest magic write, different text. It's going to suggest different graphics that we can use. So let's say we were searching for something in here rather than coming down to the left hand menu. Let's say we want to search for a heart. There we go. We can click on the heart shape and love hearts. We've got all different graphics. We've got different frames, photos, videos, and all sorts of different templates that have got a heart in there. Speaking of hearts, give this video a thumbs up if you're finding it useful. Really appreciate it if you do that. So I'm just running through these really quickly. If you have a go, let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Let me know if you've got any questions, and also let me know down in the comments which one of these new features you'd love to see a tutorial on first. This next feature update is a small but very important one, and that is a alt text option for visually impaired. So let's say we come over to our image here, we right click on that and we can click on alternative text, and in here we can actually start describing this one. This one's actually got something in here: woman in grey long sleeve shirt standing beside a glass window. So really good to see that Canva have added that feature for anyone that's viewing the designs that's visually impaired. Really, really useful, especially when it comes to presentations and designs that you're sharing. So finally, Canva have introduced layers. This has been a long time coming. I have wanted, and many of you have also wanted, layers or a layers panel inside of Canva for what feels like forever. It's here. Let me show you. So we're clicking on our image here, and if we come up and click on position, you can now see you've got this tab here and you've got the different layers. So you can see the text here is on top of the image. So if I wanted to put the image below that, I could do. On top of that, I could do. So you can see I just drag them and move them around. So I want to put this text here. Say I wanted this text to be behind the image for some reason, I could do that. And it's just moving them around. And I've got the background image here. I can click on these three dots and I can just lock that. I can copy the styles from these or anything else like that, duplicate them. And if you're wanting to see or limit the layers, say you've got a lot of elements on the design, you just want to see things that are overlapping, and you can see that a lot of this is overlapping. So you can see as I move this around, less or fewer things actually overlap. So that's layers. Really excited for this feature update. Let me know what you think. I really do hope this has been useful for you. We've got some more updates still. Next, I want to show you gradients inside of Canva. This, I know I keep saying it, but this is a big update. This whole suite of updates is huge. Let's come over to elements. Let's click on a shape. Any shape will do. We've got our shape here. It's a square. Come over as if we're going to change the color. Scroll down. You've now got gradients. So let's say we want this to have this gradient color, and you think, well, that's great, but I don't want those colors. Now, when you click on this again, you'll see it actually has these little icon. Click on that again, and you can actually now change the colors of the area here to be something different. So you can have different colors and change those however you want them to look. And if you wanted to, you can also change the style of the gradient. So you can see this is changing as to where the different colors are coming in. And if you wanted to change back to a solid color, you can do. Now, if you create any kind of document in Canva, you're going to be probably using some kind of lines and guides and things like that. Now, normally you'd drag them in from the side here and you'd create your own, and it'd take a while for you to actually start creating those. You don't have to do that anymore. Come up to File, click on View Settings, click on Add Guides. It's going to come up with some ideas for you. We've got this 6-column, 12-column, 3x3 grid, or you can create your own custom guides. Let's say we want this to be 7 columns by 3 rows we want a gap of 18 and a margin of 10, add the guides, it's got it in there. So now when we come over, we pick a photo. Let's say we want this photo and we want it to be in here. We can now line this up. We can snap it and it's going to snap to those grid lines and make sure that everything is lined up. We can do this with text boxes. So let's say we've got adding in a little bit of text. Click this here. We want this text to just sit inside this box here. We can click that down. And as we add more text, we just change the width of that. And that's going to limit that width. So as we start typing down, you'll see it's going to stick with inside of that. This is really useful if you're creating things like magazine style presentations, diaries, or you're creating any kind of books inside of Canva. So that's grid layouts. Let me know if that's a feature that you're going to find useful. Let me know what kind of documents you're going to be creating in Canva. And if there's a particular kind of document that you want to see a tutorial on, let me know down in the comments and I will look at creating a tutorial on that for you. Next, I want to show you something in whiteboards, and that is connecting shapes with lines. So let's say we've got our shapes here. We've now got our quick create and we can move these around. So as we move these around, it's going to be really dynamic and being able to create a flow chart. And let's say we didn't want this, we could remove that. Let's say we wanted a different element. We wanted this shape here and we wanted to connect that to here. We add the shape on here, click on the lines, click and drag that to any of the 5 points here, and that's going to add it on there. So now it's going to connect and make sure that those lines are connected. So just coming back to the home page, you'll sometimes see that you've got notifications up here. You can now mark all these notifications as complete, so you don't have to worry about going through each and individual one. You might have gone away and done them already. Rather than come in and trying to complete each one, you can now just mark all notifications as complete. Really like that. That's a really quick tip update. The next one is the last update that I've got for you, and that is if you come up to the top here, you'll notice now that there's different little fav icons. You can see this one's a little video player, you can see this one's social media, and this one's the whiteboard. So the different fav icons are going to have updated, and that's it. That's all I've got for you so far. Have you noticed any other features or updates that I've not covered in this video? Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know which of the new features are your favorites and which ones you would love to see more in-depth tutorials on over the coming weeks. But thank you very much. Bye for now.